Hi guys, I'm Chaoba and I've recently migrated to Canada on a permanent residency visa, and a lot of my friends have been asking me about the PR process, and I've been sharing with them all the details, like the details on the documentation work, where and how our educational credential needs to be assessed, what are the types of tests which we should be giving, and about the fees as well as the amount of money which we should be arranging or should have it in our bank account so that we can show it as a proof of fund, and many more. So basically the whole process, and I'm lucky to share you that some of my friends are actually landing here soon and some are on the verge to get the PR. I would like to ensure you that this video is definitely going to be useful to those who are actually trying to get the PR visa sincerely, so continue watching until the end. Let's move ahead and talk about the process in a while, but before diving into the process, I would like to ensure or get aware of the two most important, the most critical aspects of our profile. Those are, the first one is the NOC code, that is the National Occupational Classification Code. It is a system which classifies jobs and profession in the country by the Canadian government. Each of the profession would be having its own unique or assigned code. Under that, it would be having duties and description for that particular profession mentioned, and what we need to know is that what is that NOC code which matches our profile or our experience as much as possible. I know that it wouldn't be 100% matching, but at least 90%, 80%, 50% or whatever it is, but it should be as much as possible, because we're gonna use this NOC code in making our profile or in the application further. So this is what NOC code is. And the second most important thing is the CRS score, that is the Comprehensive Ranking System score. It is a system which gives a score of our profile based on the answers we provide. It includes a series of questions like our education level, our work experience, if you have any job offer from Canadian employer, and age, marriage status, etc, etc. So based on our answers, CRS tool gives us the score of our profile, and once we know that, we can always look into the predictions of the ITAs issued by the IRCC. ITAs are the invitation to apply, and if we, or at all we have the desired score, we obviously know the probability of us getting an ITA, so we can right away start with the process. But if we do not have the desired score, we should improve the score first and start with the process later, right? So now we know that how important is the NOC code and the CRS score. It's very easy to find it out. It's just Google it and find it out, but I like demos, so I'm going to demonstrate it in the last segment of this video, so stay tuned. Now that we know both the things, we can just look into this process. It's gonna be funny again because I made slides and it's colorful and messy, but anyway, let's check it out.
The first step is the ECA, that's Educational Credential Assessment. Since our degrees are from a foreign country, we need to have an assessment for the degrees we hold, whether it is diploma, bachelor's, master's, PhD, research, any degree for that matter. It is to check or validate the equivalency of our degree in Canada, and it is done through certain organizations or the services approved by IRCC. Some of those are listed here. You can check more about it from cic.gc. The most common and popular service is World Educational Services, and I have done my assessment through WES. The process for WES is pretty simple. You just need to go to the site wes.org and register yourself. It'll just ask some particulars like educational details, address details. Once you fill it up, complete your profile creation, you'll get a reference number. All we need to do next is make the copies of the mark sheets and the degree certificates, and get the attested by controller of examiner or registrar of the university or the college, and send these documents to WES Canada. A point to be noted here is that there is a change of rules since last year. WES accepts only and only those documents sent by college now and not by an individual. Some of the colleges takes the responsibility to send these documents by themselves, but not all the colleges, I believe. Like mine, I had to do it by myself. And if you're planning to do it by yourself, then please make sure that the sender's address on envelope is of your college's address and not your name. Back flap is to be sealed by the authentication officer of the university. just to ensure that it is not tampered by anyone. Remember to mention the WES reference number on the top of the envelope as well, ensuring that that belongs to you, and make sure to send it from a post office or a courier service nearby your college. That way WES will definitely accept the documents. I have used Blue Dart courier service, and it cost me around 1600 rupees. I sent it from Pune to WES Canada and took about 15 days to reach there. Fees for WES is 220 Canadian dollar, and the duration for assessment would take about 1 to 3 months. That's about step number 1. Step number 2 is the language proficiency test. You need to take English or French or both the language test. Test checks skills on reading, writing, speaking, and listening. We can give both if you're comfortable in both the languages. That would obviously increase your score, but you can take either one of it. For English, CELPIP-G or IELTS is what you need to give, and if you're planning to give French, then TEF or TCF is what you need to give. I have given IELTS. Fees for IELTS is 226 Canadian dollar as of now, and the preparation time would depend on our own English levels, so I cannot quote it, but I'm just averaging and keeping it as 2 to 3 months. So prepare for the test sincerely and get high score as much as possible. Higher the score, higher will be your CRS score, so plan accordingly. That's about step number 2. That gives us to step number 3. That's ExpressEntry profile creation. You do not need any fees for this. You just require ECA report, IELTS results or reference number, passport details, education details, NOC, and once you fill this in your profile, you'll get your CRS score as well. Once you have created your ExpressEntry profile, you wait for the ITAs. That's invitation to apply. ITAs are issued generally twice a month, and each ITA draw would have a CRS cutoff score. How long would it take for a person to get an ITA cannot be answered, because it all depends on his or her CRS score and also the ITA draws cutoff score. So for an instance, one of my friends, she has a score of 464 and she has created her ExpressEntry profile on 23rd of June 2019, and the ITA draw on 26th of June 2019 was 462, and she got an invitation on that draw. So see, for her it just took 3 days for her to get an ITA, but yeah, it depends. If your CRS score is extremely low, you can opt for PNP programs. We'll talk about the PNP programs in some other videos because that requires a huge data. Once you get an ITA, that's a real sigh of relief because we are done with 80% of the application, and that leads us to step number 4, which is visa application submission, and we need to arrange list of documents. Arranging these documents may be time consuming for some people, but do not worry because we get about 60 days time frame to submit all these documents, and the documents are original IELTS certificate, you need medical receipt, you need PCC, police clearance certificate. PCC can be time consuming for some people. If at all a person has stayed in foreign countries for above 6 months, then he or she needs to have the PCC done for that respective country as well. And then you need family history, travel history, address details for last 10 years, all educational certificates, all experience certificate, reference letter, 3-4 salary slips, IT returns, bank account statement, which will be a proof of fund for you. If you are a single applicant, you need 13,000 Canadian dollar, and if you're applying with a family, let's say a child or spouse, you need to have 3,000 or 4,000 Canadian dollar for each of the person going along with you, and upload all the scanned copies of these documents and submit. And you need to pay the visa fees of 550 Canadian dollar, and 490 is your right of landing fees. The total of 1040 Canadian dollar you need to pay with credit card. So that's how you submit the application. So yay, you have submitted your application. Now you wait for the notification of COPR from IRCC. So waiting for the COPR would be time consuming. It may vary from like I don't know, the processing times varies from 15 days to 6 months, or it may even take longer to be 1 year or something. You wait for the COPR notification or the visa grant. COPR is confirmation of permanent residence. Once you get the COPR notification, you're on step number 5, that's passport stamping at VFS Center. VFS Center is Visa Facilitation Service Center, and you get about 30 days to submit the passport and 2 photographs and a small fee of about rupees 300 or 600 at VFS Center. You have to carry the printout of letter you get from IRCC if you are going to the VFS Center personally, and you get your passport stamp on the same day. But then if you're planning to mail it, it will take about 3 to 7 working days to get your passport stamp. So on the COPR, you get a specified date. Before that date, you are supposed to visit or land Canada. So there are 2 options. One, you can have a soft landing and get your PR card in a month or so and return to your home country. Or second thing is you can migrate altogether. The choice is yours. Now you get your PR. Yay! You hold your PR status now. So that's about these steps. Hope it was useful. And that takes us to the last segment of my video. I had mentioned to you that I will be demonstrating you how to search the NOC code and to find out the CRS score for ourselves. So let's check that out.
Let's look into the site, www.cic.gc site. Please use the secure site. I'm sorry for that. And the video is going to be a little shaky because I'm holding my phone with my left hand. Go to English and scroll down, go, oh my god, what's happening? Go to immigrate. Sorry, because it's just focusing, I don't know. Then go to ExpressEntry. For your NOC, you need to go to find your NOC, and to know your CRS score, you need to go to this, how ExpressEntry works. So we'll look into the NOC first. There are a bunch of information about NOC here, skill type 0, A, B, C, D, and so on. And to know your NOC code, you can scroll down here and so these are the list of the NOCs, see. But you can search with your any of the like words, keywords. Like suppose if you're working in a bank, then please type bank or anything related to bank. And NOCs related to bank would pop out. Suppose you are a mechanical engineer, then type mechanical, and there you go. 2132 is the NOC code for mechanical engineers. To know duties in description or more about it, you can click there. It's 213 mechanical engineers, and example titles are here. It's not that your title should also be here. It's okay if it is not there, just that your reference number or your experience should be matching with the duties in the description mentioned here. So when you're getting the reference letter, please make sure that it matches. So that's how the NOC code is, and how to get the CRS score. Let's go to the home, immigration and citizenship. Immigrate, same thing you need to follow, and instead of going to the find your NOC, we need to go to the CRS now. Go here, how ExpressEntry works. Then find out if you're eligible, check your score, go here directly. Now comprehensive ranking system tool. It will ask few questions, you need to answer those. Your marital status. Suppose you need to select one amongst this, if you're single, if you're married, or if you're any of these. And how old are you? Point to be noted here again is you get maximum points if your age is between 20 to 29, and once you cross your 29, suppose you are 30, you'll lose 5 points each from the total of the CRS score. So for instance, let's say you're 29 years of age, your level of education is master's. Please read this properly and fill it out. It says enter the highest level of education for which you earn this Canadian degree or had an educational credential assessment. This is why we had done the educational credential assessment. Go down. Have you earned a Canadian degree? If you have, then select yes. If no, then no. Official language, if you have English, type yes, or French, anything. And since, let's say, you have given IELTS, please assume you have got IELTS score 7 in speaking, 8 in listening, reading and writing 7 and 7. Do you have other language results? No, whatever applicable. Actually, if you have given French, then type French, TEF or TCF and fill it out accordingly. Not applicable for me. Work experience in the 10 years. How many years of skilled work experience in Canada do you have? So I don't have any, so none or less. In last 10 years, how many total years of foreign experience? So whatever years of experience you have, 1 year, 2 years or 3 years or more. If you have 3 years or more, then obviously you get high score. Do you have a certificate of Canadian province, territory or federal? No. Additional points. If you have a valid job offer from a Canadian company, then you say yes, otherwise no. Okay. So do you have a nomination certificate from a province or territory? It will be yes if you get a nomination through PNP, and if no, then no. Do you or your spouse or common law partner have at least? If you have any of this, then yes, you'll get extra points. If no, then no. And then you say calculate your score, and there you go. Your results, score human capital factors, you get this. So here is what, if you are 30 years of age, it will reduce by 5 points, and so on. Spouse factor, we get 0. Okay, human capital factors, we have total of 369. That's level of education, age, official language. So 369, spouse factors, none. Skill transferability factors, we have 50. That's how. And what is important is this, the grand total. This person has the CRS score of 469, and he or she will get an ITA if the ITA cutoff score is below 469, let's say 465, then he'll get an ITA. Well, that's about it. There you go. That's the process. It's super easy, right? You can always do it by yourself if you wish to, but if you're not comfortable, then obviously hire an IRCC member and start with the process. Well, yay! I'm so happy to let you know all this information today, and that's about it for today's video. Your suggestions are always welcome. Please comment and leave your queries. If at all I can answer it, I can always add it in my subsequent videos. If at all you like my video, please like, subscribe, share it as much as possible, and hit the bell icon there. Do it right away. I'm waiting until you do it. Do it right away. I'm just kidding. If you like it, then do it. Anyways, okay, bye-bye. Have a nice time till we meet again. Bye-bye.